Have you ever felt that quiet fear in your chest, the moment you realize someone else is chasing the girl you care about? You don't say it out loud, but it keeps you awake at night. You wonder if you're enough. You wonder if she's slipping away. But here's the truth most men never hear. This moment isn't here to break you. It's here to reveal who you are. What you do next will either make you forgettable or unforgettable. Stay with me, because before this video ends, you'll understand exactly how to protect your dignity, shift the power, and become the man she can't ignore without begging, forcing, or losing yourself. Comment your location and tell us where you're watching from. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more life-changing wisdom. When another guy steps into the picture, most men immediately feel the surge of competition. It's almost instinctual. The mind races with comparisons, doubts, and the urge to prove themselves. But here's the truth that separates men who succeed from those who falter. Competing in the traditional sense rarely works. When you try to outdo him, you're reacting from insecurity. And insecurity is one of the most noticeable things a woman can sense. She doesn't want someone who is desperate to win her attention. She wants someone who already knows his own value. That's the paradox. The less you try to prove yourself, the more attractive you become. Think about it for a moment. Authenticity is magnetic. Calm self-assurance draws people in a way that frantic effort never will. When you focus on being a better version of yourself, not a better version of the other guy, you shift the energy of the situation entirely. You stop chasing outcomes and start creating presence. Presence is a subtle force. It's in the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, the ease in your laughter, and the way your eyes reflect confidence. She may not consciously analyze it, but she feels it deeply. This isn't just about dating, it's a philosophical principle rooted in human psychology. People respond to strength that is quiet, not loud. They respond to stability over chaos, certainty over doubt. When you operate from a place of calm self-assurance, you create a gravitational pull that competition cannot match. The other guy may have flashy moves, words, or attempts at impressing her, but none of that can replace the quiet authority of a man who knows who he is. It's not arrogance, it's clarity. It's understanding that your worth isn't determined by external validation, but by the inner standard you uphold for yourself. So, the first step is to stop comparing yourself to him, stop measuring your value against his presence. Instead, double down on the life you're building, the confidence you're cultivating, and the energy you radiate. Be consistent, be grounded, be interesting, and let your character speak louder than any words. She will notice the difference because attraction is not a checklist of traits. It's a perception, a feeling, an energy. And remember this, you don't need to compete to be chosen. The world already has plenty of men trying to win her over. What she truly notices is a man who doesn't chase her approval, a man who commands respect through his actions, and a man who understands the quiet power of being himself. Stand in that truth, and you'll realize the other guy isn't your rival. He's just part of the story that proves your authenticity shines brighter than any attempt at competition. Be the man who doesn't compete to win her. Be the man she can't ignore because he has already won himself. Most men think that talking more, explaining more, or trying harder will convince a woman to notice them over another guy. That's a trap, a psychological pitfall rooted in desperation. What people fail to realize is that words are fleeting. They're easily ignored, misinterpreted, or overshadowed by emotion. Actions, however, carry weight. They communicate values, confidence, and character in ways that words never can. A man who consistently demonstrates reliability, presence, and emotional control becomes a living proof of what he represents. Women don't fall for lines, they fall for patterns, energy, and the sense that someone's life has direction. Every interaction you have sends a subtle signal. How you carry yourself when she's around, how you respond to challenges, and how you manage your own life all convey far more than a carefully rehearsed speech ever could. If you speak with intensity but lack substance, the effect is fleeting. If you live with intention, every action becomes a signal of your identity. It's a psychological phenomenon. Humans are wired to notice consistency over promises, calm over chaos, and integrity over empty claims. Your presence alone can outshine another man who is loud, flashy, or trying too hard, because presence signals a grounded inner world, a world she can trust and be drawn to. This is where philosophy meets practical life. Life rewards those who act from principle rather than impulse. When you align your actions with your character, you create an aura of credibility and trustworthiness. You stop performing for approval and start living as the man you know yourself to be. In doing so, you shift the dynamics of attraction entirely. The other guy may compete with words or gestures, but he cannot compete with the subtle, undeniable power of authenticity expressed consistently over time. Your life becomes your statement, and nothing else is needed. It's important to understand that attraction is an emotional experience, not a logical debate. Trying to argue, explain, or justify your worth only introduces friction and doubt. Women sense when someone is trying to prove something. It creates tension and insecurity. Instead, focus on how you make her feel, not on what you tell her. A man who lifts her energy, makes her laugh without trying, and maintains composure when others panic creates a lasting impression. She remembers the energy, the warmth, the confidence. It's in those moments that attraction deepens. Ultimately, your actions are the most eloquent language you possess. Let them speak louder than any attempt to convince, persuade, or outshine. Be the man whose life habits and demeanor naturally inspire respect and admiration. When you live this way, you're no longer competing with the other guy. Your value becomes self-evident. Show her who you are through what you do, not what you say, and you'll realize that true influence and attraction never require explanation. They demand presence. One of the hardest truths for any man to accept is that sometimes, no matter how much effort, strategy, or patience you invest, a woman may still choose someone else. It's not a reflection of your worth, it's simply the reality of human choice. Many men respond to this by clinging harder, begging for attention, or trying to manipulate outcomes. But that is exactly the path that erodes respect, both from her and from yourself. True power and true attraction come from knowing when to step back, when to let go, and when to place your own dignity above the desire to win approval. Walking away is not defeat, it is a conscious assertion of self-respect. It's a declaration that you understand your value and that you refuse to diminish it for anyone. Philosophically, it mirrors the principle that control over one's life and emotions is the highest form of power. When you are willing to let go of what you cannot control, you reclaim energy that would otherwise be wasted on anxiety, frustration, or comparison. That energy transforms into confidence, purpose, and an aura that is inherently magnetic. Women notice this shift immediately because there is nothing more compelling than a man who is anchored in self-worth. It's also important to understand that scarcity is not about manipulation, it is about integrity. By showing that your presence is a choice, not a demand, you create natural attraction without forcing it. This is subtle, yet profoundly effective. She senses when a man is willing to walk away because it signals that he is not bound by fear, need, or insecurity. That signal communicates freedom, strength, and the capacity to lead his own life, a quality that resonates deeply on both conscious and subconscious levels. The irony is that stepping back often shifts the dynamic in your favor, not because of games or tactics, but because authenticity always outshines desperation. Furthermore, this principle extends beyond the realm of relationships. It is a reflection of life itself that you cannot control the choices of others, only your own actions and reactions. Men who understand this are not passive. They are deliberate. They invest in themselves, in their goals, and in their character. They understand that the quality of their life does not depend on validation from someone else, but on their own alignment with purpose and self-respect. This mindset naturally draws people toward them, creating a magnetic field that no external competition can penetrate. Ultimately, the ability to walk away when necessary is a mark of true confidence and emotional intelligence. It tells her, and more importantly, tells yourself that your value is inherent, unshakable, and independent of approval. It is in this space of self-possession that genuine attraction flourishes. Respect yourself enough to let go when it's required, and you will discover a power far greater than winning someone's attention, the power of knowing that you are already whole, complete, and extraordinary just as you are.